Well, we've got the amazing Whitney Richards here with us today.
Hello. Thanks
Hi,
for having me.
Whitney, as a way of introduction, can you tell us a bit about you, what your background is, that sort of stuff? I know it was in your production that you're in the middle of at the moment.
Yep.
But fill us in a bit about who is Whitney Richards.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, listening, whatever is happening. My name is Whitney Richards. This is funny because we know each other. I have just turned 30. I live in Sydney, but I'm originally from Perth, as you know. I'm performing in my first ever one-woman show at the Blue Room Theatre. It's called I Do, I Don't, which I started writing about a year ago. I work in theatre and
you have a degree in film and television.
I do. I have a Bachelor of Arts from Curtin with a minor in performance studies. But I'm just like a doer. I like being involved in stuff. So I've done so many different things involved in the industry.
So what sort of things, Whitney? Tell us a bit about what sort of things you've done in the industry.
Performing, and in that I've done a lot of singing and dancing and improvising and playing musical instruments, but predominantly acting. And then I've done a lot of stage management, which keeps me involved and kind of gives you like a really good scope of actually how things work and the practicality of that, and I'm so grateful for that experience. I also work with children a lot, so children who are in professional productions, theatrical productions. I'm their chaperone, but so I have to, it's a very complex role where I have to juggle kind of the needs of, first and foremost, the children, the needs of the production, the needs of the kids' family and their mothers and fathers, and then also the guidelines of the government body that kind of monitors.
Okay, so the legal aspects behind and the duty of care and that sort of thing.
Yeah, which is pretty, like, it's very strict and concise, which it needs to be because they're so vulnerable. But I really enjoy doing that as well. And one day I'd really like to end up in coaching kids who are in professional productions or film and television. So I really enjoy things like that TV show Stranger Things on Netflix, which a lot of people are talking about. Just really enjoy the kids in that and interested in how to get kids to be so natural and in front of the camera. What else have I done? I do a lot of ushering in theatres, so I'm always consuming material.
Okay, so you're always in the theatre space. So when you started your degree in film and television, was it the ultimate objective to go into performance?
No. No one had ever said to me, you can work in theatre and earn money, or that it was a job. And so I didn't really have any role models. Basically, I didn't have any kind of mentors or anybody that I knew that was like, yeah, you can totally do this. And I always just thought it was more of a hobby or something that I was just good at and that was fun, high school productions and stuff like that. And so I decided to be a documentary filmmaker and a journalist. And so I went to Curtin and was doing that. And I decided to do a minor in performance studies because I liked it.
And I guess that would help you in terms of making documentaries and doing that sort of thing as well, wouldn't it, if you've got the performance aspect of it?
Yeah, I guess so. At the time, I just thought, oh, well, that's my hobby and that's something that I'm good at, so I'll just keep that going because I like it. So by my third year, I was spending most of my time at the theatre and was finding the film element. I really enjoy film, but it was really hard. We're being forced to work with people that I would never work with normally. Yeah, because you choose who you work with, and that's such a delicate. You need really good relationships.
So what's the difference between film and television? You say it's delicate, but you know, what are the differences there for, you know, I don't have any idea of that. So can you explain, you know...
The differences between film and theatre work? Well, I mean, both you're working collaboratively with other people, which I really crave and I really love, and I get the most out of me. I don't, like, writing this show that I'm currently working on alone in a room was just excruciating, and once I got with my team, like, that was when I flourished. But to me, there are so many more elements that can go wrong in film. Just like on the day of shooting, and I found the shooting days are really stressful. Whereas in theatre, you're generally in a black box rehearsal space, and you know, you lock the doors and you kind of lose all time and space, and you just make this thing and you work it and you work it, and I love rehearsing. I love performing, but I really love figuring out the magic of moments and story and finding the best way to tell a story. And whereas film, I feel like you have to battle whoever you're hiring the venue from on like the noise and the planes, and but in a theatre you kind of I forget that the outside world exists.
And yet an outsider would probably think film would be easier because you can stop and cut and change it around, whereas all the pressure is on you when you're on stage to make it right.
And sometimes you feel very vulnerable out there if something does really go wrong. But I've done enough now on stage where not that much phases me in terms of and like that. Or this is where all my other hats, my stage managing hat and my usher hat, really come in. Like if something were to happen out in the audience, you know, I've worked as an usher so much in intense situations where I've had to call ambulances and then call a show stop in front of 800 people. I'm not afraid to do that as a performer now.
So having that broad experience is really worthwhile.
For me, it has been. And I think that a lot of the institutions like WAPA or I'm friends with a lot of people who graduate, but they don't get that scope taught. They get taught like, I'm this actor, but I think especially in to be hireable, is that a word? Hireable. Employable. People want to. I just think it gives you a better attitude, and it makes you. But that it has to come from you. Nobody's going to tell you to do that, and it's tough as well because in Sydney, a lot of people think that I'm the child chaperone, and you have to kind of work. You have to try and change people's attitude about, I'm actually a performer as well, but without having to like scream and yell that when you're in that role.